Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Umama Wasim and I am a student of Rehan Ai Teachers Training Bootcamp. And today our task is to talk with Maya about the art of effective learning. So let's go. Hello Maya, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Hello Maya, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. What's been on your mind lately?
Okay Maya. So my first question is what does effective learning means
I
to
was,
you?
um, the best way I can explain it is active engagement, really wrestling with the ideas instead of just passively absorbing them. Like not memorizing definitions for a test, but being able to explain something to your little cousin who has no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, why is effective learning important for students?
Curious about that definition because it actually sticks with you. When you truly understand something, it's not just gone after
Okay,
the
so my
test. It
next
builds on
question.
itself, making it easier to learn new things later. Mm-mm.
What are the
I'm not quite catching everything there. Yeah, the audio seems a little choppy. What were you saying about effective learning in your kitchen?
key principles of effective learning?
For me, it boils down to spaced repetition, active recall, interleave practice, basically challenging yourself in different ways instead of just doing the same thing over and over. And also trying to connect new stuff to things you already understand. What about for you?
Okay, so my next question is what role does motivation play in learning?
Huge role. Like knowing why you're learning something makes it way easier to stay engaged. But what's more interesting, motivation that comes from wanting a good grade or from actually finding the subject fascinating?
What are some proven techniques for effective learning?
I guess teaching someone else forces you to actually understand it deeply, right? Feynman technique, where you simplify stuff like you're talking to a kid. Then there's mind mapping, breaking down concepts visually. For me, the best technique would be learning from people I look up to. So I like interviewing or talking to them and learning from their experiences instead of listening to their lectures.
Okay. How does active learning
Does that
improve
approach?
understanding?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that last part there. Were you asking how active learning improves training?
Okay. What is important
Uh,
not again learning?
um, is what should be avoided. Getting stuck in passive mode, just reading without really taking anything in. Rote memorization without understanding why. And honestly, comparing yourself to other students, you're on your own path. What do you think is the biggest trap people fall into when learning something new?
How can repetition help in learning?
I think it provides a starting point, a framework you can build on. But I'm hearing a little choppiness. Were you asking how definition helps in learning?
Okay, what is the role of practice in mastering a skill?
It's everything. Like you can read all about riding a bike, but you actually fall until you get it. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes, right? Do you find that
Uh,
with your happiness and
how does time
productivity?
management affect learning?
agreeing there about practice?
How does time management affect learning?
Massively, having for focused work helps separate distraction.
Okay. What are the best way to stay focused while studying?
I think minimizing distractions, obviously, phone away, quiet space, whatever works for you. Some people swear by the Pomodoro technique, 25-minute bursts with breaks. Others find background music helps. What do you do when your mind wanders during a session?
Okay. Why is consistency important in learning?
It builds momentum little by little. It compounds over time. And before you know it, you're actually good at something that felt impossible at the start. Have you noticed that with your work at the training camp, that consistent effort is what makes the biggest difference?
Okay. How can you avoid distractions focusing while studying?
Distractions? I mean, not restrictions. Okay, so phone in a different room, website blockers for social media and that kind of stuff. Sometimes putting on white noise or nature sounds help, or even just letting people know you need focused work time. What usually pulls your focus when you're trying to study?
How does a positive mindset influence learning?
Well, a negative mindset can shut things down before you start.
What is the role of self?
Feeling like it's
Okay, so my next
too
question is
hard or
why
you're going
is
to
it
fail.
important to learn from mistakes?
I'm not sure I caught that last word. Were you saying learn from mistakes or did you mean something else? I think stacks threw me there.
Okay, how does curiosity improve the learning process?
Huge. Like when you genuinely want to understand something versus having to learn it for a test. Plus, there's this thing where curiosity actually activates different parts of your brain. I've been doing some thinking about this actually. Did you know researchers found spontaneous eye blinks lock to a song's beat when you're really engaged, when attention shifts, that breaks? Viva La Vida is 138 BPM. Your blinks might subtly entrain during your rehearsals. I wonder if you might find a connection with stage presentations and maintaining presence.
Okay, how does the learning environment affect concentration?
Um, Major way. Too loud, too cold, bad lighting can all mess with focus. But also the energy of the place, you know? I'd imagine that quiet libraries are different than crowded cafes. What's your ideal spot for really getting into your work?
Okay, what
Just
role does technology play in effective learning?
It's a tool, right? Can be good or bad. Access to info, flashcard apps, interactive lessons, but can also be huge distraction if you're not careful. I read about a prototype called Sona that actually cancels out specific sounds in real time. Imagine practicing presentations without noisy training rooms getting in the way. Have you seen technology making a difference in the training program you're in?
Okay, how can group study help in learning?
Nice way to get different perspectives, fill in gaps in your understanding, and honestly teach each other things you didn't realize you knew. But gotta avoid the traps too. Make sure everyone actually contributes or it just becomes a social hangout. Did you do a lot of group work at the training camp?
Okay, what are the benefits of teaching others what you learn?
Oh, huge. If you can't explain something simply, that means you don't really get it. It forces you to organize your thoughts, identify gaps in your knowledge, and solidify it for yourself. Plus, helping others feels pretty good, right?
Okay, Maya, thank you. Allah Hafiz.